Guys, it's Greeny here. Welcome back to another video. This one's a little bit different, guys. This is an excerpt from my trading group where Sexy and I, another caller, did a market overview for the members of our group where we discussed macro, we discussed Solana, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, where we think price is going to go and how we are actively trading this market, whether we're shorting it or whether we're looking for longs. I then dive into Tron and Tron meme coins at the moment and do a bit of analysis there. And then I follow it up with the top meme coins and where I would like to buy them if we do see those prices go down. So I hope you really enjoy this video. Be sure to subscribe, guys. Be sure to like this video as well. And obviously, if you'd like to get early access to this video before the public, you can become a YouTube member in the description below.
And if you, of course, you do have these sort of inverse head and shoulders, possibly, around this area. But you do need a confirmation breakout here towards the upside. Because if you do reject right here and just make like a, let's say, a lower low right here, we come back up, then we're most likely going to come down to at least 56k, maybe down towards 55. Because I know I was sharing in the leverage trading chat just a while ago for a sweep of 62k, so I was looking at like these wicks to sweep that before going anywhere. If we do go down or if we keep going up, that's to be seen, but yeah, just a sweep or a breakout towards the upside here would be very nice and confirm this sort of head and shoulders formation that we are sort of forming.
And what are you favoring on the higher time frames?
I'm still considering lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least until we flip like 62.5, 63k, then I can start looking for sort of 70k area.
The way I want to...
And I have been looking at the 15 minutes as well. Just sort of our local area.
Yeah.
And it's pretty obvious we are in a sort of uptrend.
Yeah.
Here. But we are seeing struggles of making new highs. So we made that high, just swept it right here. Did not manage to close above, made a new, and then we made that lower high.
Yeah.
So there are weakness on lower time frames.
And all those highs literally like equal at whatever that is, 61.4 or 5 or across that whole sort of range.
Yeah, around that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we could also just see a like weekend sweep of these areas, like those, because there is a bunch of liquidity right between the 61.8 and 62.8.
Yeah. So you preferencing...
Everyone was shorted here.
Are you preferencing a short if we do move up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Same. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, and that's what I think. Like, even if we, like, tomorrow say, really randomly, like, you got to prepare for all situations. So I'm kind of thinking, tomorrow, if we do come out and see an insane rate drop, like one that's unpredicted, then we could rally nearly like high 60s, if not even push to 70s. And then, like, that is golden short opportunity, in my opinion. That's one situation. It comes out as expected, probably is what will happen, but we probably do still pump a little bit, and then I think we do move back down.
Yeah. And if I'm looking at the CCI, we are daily almost overbought.
Yeah, yeah.
From this bounce. I do think we still have, we have a weekly...
Yeah, bullish. Yeah, yeah.
Which is something that can send us like two highs again.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
And
so
the fact that we did not close under these daily wicks. But yeah, we do have that same sort of thing that we're looking for.
Yeah, I think it's smart to like the reason I keep like it's a no trade zone really for me right now because you got that fundamental event tomorrow. You've got stocks and gold rallying. You've got the US dollar going down. So in theory, that's all that's kind of holding crypto up right now, in my opinion. If they weren't obviously correlated, which they are, then the liquidity would probably see us move to the downside. I just think maybe we do spike up, grab that liquidity where anywhere, like depending on how bullish that event is tomorrow, and then we probably move back down to retest that liquidity, like if you're on there at low 50s, worst case scenario down in the 40s.
Yeah. And you always gotta prepare for the 40k, because that's still like a 25-20% drop from here, and that's gonna hurt so many people.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how the Fear and Greed index, it's at 50 right now.
Undecided, indecisive market right now, hey?
Very. Yeah, so that's basically why I have been sticking to the lower time frames for my trading.
Yeah.
Because this sort of a range, you could just look for lower time frame confirmations and just long shorts and so on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. Let's. What about Solana? What are you seeing in Solana?
Solana has been weaker. We did see a dump on the Solana BTC chart a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This recent fall from here. But yeah, we have still, like, this is a potential another like head and shoulders.
Yeah.
It's not as good looking because we did go back down here, and this is where you would have like if you're actually going to break down, this is where you would have seen the breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
And we just came up and swept that high. Here again, we're above the 200 EMA on the daily. Still in this range.
Yeah.
Just a small drop coming back to test the 200 EMA sort of. That should be still quite bullish, making still higher lows.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, BTC dominance definitely does look top-ish soon.
Yeah. So that's just something, but I know. Yeah, Solana hasn't done really much.
Yeah, look at that range. It's such a chop.
It's just chopping around. I did like this sweep of these lows that we did get. But of course you could look for like us to come back, fill about 50% of that wick before actually going higher. But yeah, you can see here how much we are actually just squeezing onto this EMA.
Yeah.
Like even if you're looking at this as a breakout of the retest there.
Yeah.
It's still sort of it's still super tight.
Yeah.
It just shows how we can get like an impulsive move soon.
Yeah, so to give everyone insight, let's talk about what you have been doing during a time like this, because a lot of people would love to learn, I reckon. So let's dive deep into, like, say, 15 minutes. Is that where you're scalping mainly? And then can you talk us through
15 minutes
what you look
5
for?
minutes.
Yeah.
Have been my go-to like time frames. So usually I just look for like we trade differently from day to day, but like usually on Mondays we have a typical thing. I can check if I can see here. We have Monday, Sunday here. I have that shit. That's our Sunday. So we had our Monday range, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we came down. So Monday, I like to look for a manipulation move. So we could clearly see this Monday.
Yeah.
This is a trade I did take. That we had this sort of accumulation zone before market open.
Yeah.
And then into market open, we had a manipulation move towards the downside. And this is where I was starting to look for longs, because we were still above the support level that we could see from the previous sort of areas that we bounced from. And here I zoomed in on the 5 minutes. And I was looking for something to confirm my bullishness, that we are actually going up from this. So I saw this, we swept the lows. This is also something you can look for. So this is a liquidity sweep, sort of. So we had this, everyone along here has stops like below this sort of area, thinking we are going to the upside. We come down before market open and sweep that. And then I was looking for a confirmation here, so we made a low, came up, made a high, came back down again, but this time we did not actually make a lower low, we made a higher low. So this is where I started to get interested. I know we had a 3-minute harmonic as well. So harmonics is something I like to base my entries off. So we had a 3-minute harmonic around this area. So I took my entry here, just based off that 3-minute harmonic, and I have very tight stops. I like almost all of my trades. So this stop is like 0.35%.
Yeah.
And then I was targeting the local sort of range high.
Yeah.
Which is a 1 to 5 trade.
Yeah, that's elite.
And here you can see multiple trades even. So after this manipulation move, you're usually looking for the distribution. I know you have a video of this you did share.
Yeah.
So towards the upside. So this is another long you could have taken, which is the retest of that range low that we had here on the previous sort of range. We can go back down here, tested that area again. So that could have been a second long.
Yeah.
With a stop below these wicks from our previous range and targeting sort of high or even just that local range high from that accumulation phase.
Yeah.
So those were like the only 2 trades I was even looking for on Monday. I stay very patient with my trades.
You have to.
Some days I don't. Yeah, because if you feel like you don't have an edge in the market, you should just stay away from trading that specific day. Like Wednesday, yesterday, I had nothing. Like we were just we had a very impulsive move into market open. If I can look here, that's Thursday. Yeah, so Wednesday we had these crazy moves,
Yeah.
these wicks into the market open. So I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna avoid that because all they're doing is just hunting liquidity on both sides. So that was nothing that I wanted to be a part of until we got a clean move out from that area.
Yeah.
So that was so next opportunity I was looking at was this inverse head and shoulders
On a higher time frame.
Yeah, so this is on the 15 minute. So we did reclaim sort of this low area, low range low. So again, this is just a range play. We came up, showed some strength, had a nice accumulation here, a manipulation move. We swept some lows. Here we can zoom in again. Very similar to the Monday. We came back up, made a high, came back down again, made a higher low, and then just kept on going towards the upside.
So where do you open your trade there, just so everyone can see?
So I like to take 2 entries most of the time. So I have one smaller entry, because this is always riskier because you don't have the higher high yet. So you have a higher low forming around this area. So I usually just take an entry with a tight stop below those wicks. And then I have, and then I was targeting the range high.
Yeah.
Which you could see from that previous range that was below. And then you could take based off the second confirmation, which is a higher high. We made this high right here. Then we came back down, made a higher low, higher high right here. Down. Hadn't respected this sort of
retest. Yeah.
Yeah. You also have a fair value gap right there. 5-minute fair value gap. And that would have been my second entry. With a stop just right under like the fair value gap.
Yeah.
And then targeting towards the same upside. But this I will play with tighter take profit, so I can secure some on the way.
Yeah.
And it's not bad if you think market is going to your side to get a second entry, even if you are in profits already.
That's what I was
Because
thinking.
most people love DCAing into a losing position, but they don't DCA into a winning position.
Yeah, no, that's great insight, and I really hope, I'm sure a lot of members will be able to get insight into that. That's sick. No, and that's actually a really good point that you add at the end. Like, a lot of people love to DCA into a position that they think will play out once, rather than maybe capitalizing in something that is showing strength. And it's really interesting that you say that, because that's kind of been the narrative this cycle is, if you stick with strength and compound into strength, you're probably going to outplay and outtrade the rest of the market.
Yeah. So I have not touched anything after this, really. Just a waiting zone for me now, because we did reject this high.
Yeah.
Which is quite bearish, because we did not confirm the actual head and shoulders breakout, and we're going to down back again. So I'm sort of expecting lower, but then we are going into a weekend, like it's Friday tomorrow. And then market can trade quite unexpectedly, so just waiting for me now.
Yeah.
And I do prefer to trade Solana just because how volatile it is.
Yeah.
Compared to Bitcoin sometimes, because we do get these sort of very, very small ranges on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That are sometimes hard to trade.
Yeah, I agree. And I think sticking to, like, that's what I've also really focused on more recently. It's just sticking to Bitcoin and Solana and looking at those ranges, those liquidity blocks, and becoming familiar and confident with those charts, rather than trying to trade every single altcoin.
Yeah, as you see, I have only
Yeah.
Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin. I have not traded ETH in a while though.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
But yeah, it's just look at this.
Yeah.
It's just been ranging.
Yeah.
Bitcoin. I do trade gold sometimes as well, and Euro USD.
Where do you trade your currencies and stuff?
Forex there. I use them prop firm, so like Crypto Fund Trader.
Yeah, okay.
I have a prop firm from that, and then I have a Breakout, which is for crypto prop firm.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I need to look in. I'll be definitely, once I get home, I'll be definitely looking into broader markets.
Yeah.
Less volatile.
Yeah, so gold has just been on a run.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah.
It's just going up.
Yeah, sweet. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on? If not, I'll do, like, I might dive into a little bit more on memes and stuff.
You go for it.
All right, easy. Just give me a sec. Alrighties. Hopefully everyone can still hear me. I'll just pull out of that one. No, you're right. Thanks so much for that, Sexy. And that's super informative, and it aligns a lot with what I'm currently seeing in the market. And like, a lot of people sometimes lack impatience. And people want to make money. They want to be trading every single day. But sometimes, guys, like, the best thing to do is actually just to sit on the sidelines, to just be patient. And that's why I say this a lot, like, wait for price to come to you, because at the end of the day, you want to have good risk to reward entries, whether you're shorting it or whether you're long it. So yeah, let me know if any questions in the chat. Yep, there's a few of you in there already asking. That's sick. And then we can dive into, I might dive more into the meme space and talk a little bit about Tron, because that's obviously diving heavy into volume. So let me just pull that up. I just read through the chat. What type of size for your portfolio do you usually play on these videos? Yeah, go about 10%. Yep, sweet. So I got about 10% of my forward in futures, and I rest 0.1. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. So it doesn't really matter. Great question, Pad. Like, I allocate 1% generally to all trades. I try to stay that way. That way it's consistent and you build your wealth over time. And then that way, if you lose as well, it's always the same percentage that you lose. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah. All right. consistency is key. 100%, 100%. And it takes experience, it takes knowledge, it takes it just takes boredom, honestly, to figure out that sometimes simple strategies are the best strategies. All right, I might pull. Oh my gosh, hold on. I was just looking at that. Let's see if this works. So yeah, I'll chuck up your stream currently has reduced video quality. Easy. I don't know why it does that. That's classic Discord. But yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, if you want me to look at particular charts. I'll do a quick broad overview. Sexy already pretty much covered on everything that I'm looking at the moment. I'm waiting for sort of moves to go higher. I always like to look at total as well. Oopsies, maybe not on the month, but I like to take a broad perspective. On the market, what you're seeing is that still, like, this is very similar to the Bitcoin chart. You're playing out this sort of bullish wedge. Like, this is a bullish wedge with hidden and, well, you could really say it is closed bullish divergence at the moment as well. You've got liquidity down here in this sort of $1 trillion range, which aligns very similarly to Bitcoin, guys, as well. So that's why, for me, I still am very cautious that we could revisit, even like wick down to there. I don't think we go to 38, but we wick down to that region, or we maybe play out something like this. Like, even we come down here, retest liquidity down in this sort of order block, retest this high even as well. And Sexy kind of covered that as well. So I won't go too much into that, but that's what I'm looking at for the worst case scenario. If we do look at dominance, because that is one that I'm keeping an eye on as well, like I said, it looks like it is maybe starting to top out here. You've got a long sort of history here. You're retesting support from 2020, guys, from way back in 2018. So I wouldn't be surprised at some point we might be starting to be overextended. You might see it put in a double top here on CCI/RSI. So maybe look for a top soon in the coming months, which is great for memes and great for altcoins with returns later this year. So that's what I'm looking at. Outside that, I'm only really looking for Solana and Bitcoin sort of trades now, because the rest of the market really hinges on what those two probably do. Radium's still in a great position right now as well, guys. So very happy to probably DCA into something like that. Jupe is another one that I have been looking at. Again, its chart's obviously a lot newer, but a lot of them are sort of finding support around bottoms that they had earlier this cycle. Pepe, again, playing out a very high time frame sort of wedge. Again, you could maybe look for longs potentially if you see it down here at the 658. I don't even know what you call that price, but that's what I'm looking at. Casper, it's crazy. Like, this was a golden opportunity if we saw it. I think I was flying at the time, or I was about to board my flights the next day, so I didn't quite get to see this, but you are seeing sort of the weekly come down on a lot of altcoins, which is great, because that means the longer we go like sideways, the quicker it'll be for us to resolute and move back towards sort of bullish territory on the higher time frames. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, this was an ultimate buy if you got it on Casper. I think, yeah, we're holding this sort of golden pocket, the top of it really. But yeah, keeping an eye on Casper as well. They're probably the only trades or only altcoins I'm looking at. This one actually is really surprising, and I wonder if Sexy's looked at this too. AVAX is actually potentially trying to break out against Solana for the first time since when's this? Like, yeah, last year really, which is pretty crazy. So keep it, yeah. But that's one to keep an eye on, because if this does show me, like, I mean, we had multiple divergences of bullishness there. So if we do start to flip more bullish, and I do see Bitcoin dominance come down, I actually probably will watch this chart and look for it to maybe I sell some of my Solana bag for AVAX. Let me just check this one as well. Yeah, and like, no, so hey, thanks for joining, Legend. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. More than happy to help you out, and obviously let me know in the chat too. I'll try and get to them as well. Thanks for tuning in, guys. But yeah, so we're looking at AVAX here on BTC as well. So it's bottomed. It hasn't bottomed, but it looks like it's finding at least support against Bitcoin here, or a higher low technically, guys. So I'm keeping an eye on it. But I mean, like, it's still got to break this for me. Still got to break that and show me strength for me to do that. But if you look at its pair, it's actually one of the only ones that is up quite a lot today. But again, it's got this macro level, right? This is like, I was super bullish on AVAX until it broke that, guys. Like, that was the big sign for me. Okay, we've lost that. Like, I mean, you can even track it down to there. Like, look at all those touches. So that's why I sold my AVAX bag, because we didn't see strength back into that bullish sort of trend, right? And you want to be in that trend. Like this is a bull trend, okay? Bull trend. And then as soon as it doesn't do that, like as soon as it doesn't break back in and retest and maybe continue high, that is where we cut. And I'm very grateful because that move was like that. That's why we trade, guys. We make smart decisions because you saved yourself. Yeah, look at that, 60%, guys, on like one of the top tokens in the space. So always pays to be quite active sometimes, even in your spot portfolio. But for me, like I said, I am keeping an eye on AVAX versus Solana if this does break out. And then obviously it is showing strength against BTC. So that's the only sort of altcoin play I would maybe make. Otherwise, I'm very happy just holding predominantly Solana, predominantly Bitcoin, and predominantly Ray. The other tokens I would buy would be Jupiter if we do see lower, and then Pepe, I would buy a bag of Pepe, and then I would buy a bag of Casper too if we do see lower. So those are my altcoins that I'm really keeping an eye on. Everything else, I probably just don't want to be holding just at the moment. I don't know. I just don't know how this cycle is going to play out. It's very different to last cycle. Last cycle altcoins were like you put money into any altcoin, whether it was at 2 million or 100 million, and they ran up so crazy because that was the narrative. That's what the cycle was, gaming tokens, all that sort of stuff. But right now we're just not seeing that. So I'd rather be a little bit more concentrated with my liquidity and focus. And Craig and I talked about this on stream as well, like focus more of my bags into smaller plays, less plays, and have sort of just a more conservative approach. Like I'm still looking like Solana, what price are we at? Like 150 at the moment, 140. Yeah, like Solana still could 3x from here, guys. Like, I mean, if we do a fib, I got so many fibs. Look at my fibs, goodness gracious. Like, I mean, this is what I've got. Like, this is on a higher time frame. Like, what kind of chart is this? This is so bizarre. So, I mean, if we do, like, say this low is in, like, some levels that I would be looking for, like, potential profits is 272. So, like, it does make sense, which actually puts it at an all-time high too. So, like that's probably where I do start to scale out a bit of my Solana is at 272, but then obviously another high time frame sort of trade would be about 370, guys, is sort of my low targets for Solana in the most bullish situations. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for that. But yeah, so I hope that gives you insight. Let me know in the comments. I will dive a little bit differently now. I want to talk about this because like I did release those couple of videos on Tron. I haven't taken an active trade just yet on Tron. On Suncat, I did that live video a few days ago, and someone asked the comment one on Twitter, and someone asked Suncat, and that actually pumped 5x from when I looked at it. So like, there's definitely money to be made, and as long this is just on DeFi Llama, guys, come down DeFi Llama, come to chains or check volume. Sorry, volume then chains. Keep an eye on these two chains because these are the ones that are really sort of the narrative right now. Is either Binance Smart Chain or Tron. Last cycle, Binance Smart Chain saw a lot of success. I traded a lot of gaming tokens on there. I actually didn't mind Binance Smart Chain. It's a little bit different, obviously. Pancake Swap is your main DEX on there, so keep an eye on that. But yeah, Tron, keep an eye on whether it continues to have that sort of move towards $1 billion of volume across the week, or a couple of 100 million across the day, because if it does, then that's worth spending some time. So I mean, if we do look at like the main sort of plays, like they are starting, like Sundog is finally sort of topped out. It looks like we are kind of consolidating here for a bit of time. I always like to just I like to see consistent volume first on a chain before I like to dive over there. So for me, that again, that's a retest of on a strong token, retest of the shallow fib. That makes a lot of sense. And actually, guys, I am keeping an eye on the DEX because it has been added to Blowfin. So we could be looking for shorts or longs on Sun very shortly. So keep an eye on that as well. But yeah, it looks like we'll consolidate here. Probably look for a breakout either down or up in the coming sort of this is on the hourly. So maybe within the next sort of 12 hours or so. So keep an eye on that. But outside of that, guys, I've been avoiding memes just because, like Sexy just said, we're in such a strange market right now, and it's actually kind of nice to step away. It just means that you can be a little bit more just preservative. You can come back with a focus. Like this one I charted the other day, like a lot of them are struggling to hold. Like this is a bull flag, bull pennant, whatever you want to call it, and it's breaking down. So a lot of tokens are kind of like that at the moment. Like I'm not seeing any cool new memes either. Pump Fund actually isn't getting as much volume as like Tron right now as well. Hold on, that's not the right PopCat, but I'll do a quick analysis on a few of the top memes just to see what I'm looking for if I did want to potentially get into them. So let me know if you have any questions or any particular memes in the comments, and I can go through them really quickly. But PopCat, for example, it obviously did bounce from this fib at the golden pocket. So again, I'd probably, you know what, like if it does come back down and retest here and Bitcoin is close to maybe hitting some lower liquidity levels, I probably look for either a long or a little spot bag here to build that over time. Like that's a 50% move, 75% move back to the top of that sort of wedge as well. So like keep an eye on that. If it does, like if the market does bleed down, I think buying your top memes. So I'm talking Popcat, I'm talking Mog, I'm talking Pepe, I'm talking probably Ponky as well. Buying those top ones at this level it's definitely going to be a play longer term. Like I think we sweep down low. If we do break down, we sweep down, we grab that liquidity, we come back, we consolidate for a period of time, and make new highs. Maybe over New Year's is what I'd probably see. If not, probably push into 2025 and make new highs there. So that's what I'm looking at. So for me, no trade zone on something like this right now. Let's look at WIF. This one's playing at a very high time frame. Bull wedge. Oh, of course it deletes all my going between all these hotels. It deletes all my all my TA. But I'm kind of looking at something like this, guys. This is on the weekly, but let's go back to the daily. So I'm looking at kind of it playing out like this. I mean, you could probably draw it a few different ways, but that's what I'm looking at. So WIF still has a lot of time for me to sort of consolidate, like here, maybe chop. But it does look like it could be forming a potential bottom here. What billion is that? That's at about 1.3. So again, you could start maybe looking to build a position, but I just don't want to yet until I see strength from macro, because if you buy something like this, then the downside risk for something like this is so much higher than what you want it to be, right? Like we're not strength yet. Like, yeah, so we found support. So even from here to the 0.786 is a 36, like that's a lot of, like say you got 10 Solana, like that's 4 Sol that you've lost on that one position from just buying here. So that's what I mean about buying strength, guys, and having good risk to reward entry. So for me, I probably look to maybe buy if it does go down back and retest these sort of support down here, or obviously if it sweeps the bottom of this sort of range, and which aligns very nicely with the 786. So that's what I'd look for WIF, and I think that's actually a really good long opportunity too if we do see it. Let's go to Bonk. Let me check chat. Yep, no chat messages. Sweet. Yeah, so Bonk's really, like, I mean, there's nothing too good about this chart for me. You're not seeing any volume come in. Like, literally, look at that. That is, oh, this is on Orca. Is this the right one? Maybe I'm not on the right one. Give me the Radium one. Yeah, even less. I mean, like, yeah, wow, guys. Like, Bonk is... I probably avoid it. I'm avoiding Bonk. Let's just say that here. I'm avoiding Bonk. Let's look at Mog. Yeah, so I've kind of drawn this out as ready. So yeah, this was the swing trade long that we did look to take, and it did hit obviously our first TP. So I mean, if you were still in that, you would have made with it 10x, you would have made 300%. So that's what I was looking for. However, I do think maybe it kind of maybe does this now. Maybe comes back down, retests this. I probably will look for longs around here again. I will look for longs around the golden pocket with a very simple invalidation of like very just keeping it tight. Like probably that week over there is probably what I'd look for. And like, I mean, like Sexy kind of said before on, I think it was Solana had a fair value gap. Like this is technically a fair value gap as well, that you could come back and fill all the liquidity that's down here as well. Like, so worst case scenario, I think it does go down to here. Best case scenario, it plays off the 0.618. In between, it maybe retests that liquidity there at 250 million. So Mog is definitely strength. Like I see strength in this chart compared to Bonk and to other tokens. So for me, keeping an eye on it. But let me just clean this up a little bit. But until it does break this sort of yellow descending trend, then it's still in a bearish trend. So keep an eye on that, guys, for Mog. Don't get attached to your bags. Trade them. That's the secret to success. Learn to become a trader. Don't get attached. I showed you Pepe before, Mog. There's probably not too many more I'm keeping an eye on. Like, I mean, we can go into a few more other ones. I'll look at Brainlet as well across the market. But let's have a look. So yeah, I mean, it's playing out this channel, which it did bounce off previous sort of wicks down here. So for me, I'm just keeping an eye on Ponky. Again, probably same thing. I would probably prefer to buy down here at the 0.786 if we do see it. If we don't see it, then I probably am happy to fade this or look for strength here and take the breakout trade on the 0.5 if the market decides to move up. That's what I'm looking at, that one. Let's go to Brainlet. I obviously missed the bottom of this when I was flying the other day, but yeah, this buy here is sensational. Like, I think I said this on that video the other day, but yeah, a higher low off the 0.786, like that is a Greeny trade in a nutshell, up to the 0.5 and up to the higher fib as well. This is like at the 0.318, like that's an easy 2.7x trade. So that's what I'm looking at there. Again, this chart, like I don't see a lot there. I'll probably avoid it for now on Brainlet. So for me, there's not much that I'm really looking to do. Like, we did see a few NFTs run, but for me, it's just not sustained enough volume. So right now, like Sexy said, it's just be patient, guys, and wait for the market to do its thing. Cook, yep, I can have a look at CookPad. Let's have a look. So that's Brainlet. I probably don't really want to be trading this one right now. You could probably say that, like for me, where's it going is a question that I would probably get. I'd say probably to retest the support down here. So way down here at 13 sort of million is what I'm saying. Like, it's broken the 0.5 here. So I'd probably retest 6.18, but then maybe retest there as well. So that's what I'm looking at. Let me check. What was that token you just asked me? At Cook. Yeah. So I took profits of Cook at 2 million. So so it's moved up a little bit. It was at 1.7 earlier. I was looking at that. So it did. Yeah. So I mean, this is still playing out. It's just really low volume. So be careful of that pad. Like, it's only at 35k volume and 20k volume. So, like, I mean, if macro does break down, this, like, all memes send towards the bottom. So that's why I was super aggressive with taking profits here. I think it was yesterday, was it? Yeah, no, a couple of days ago at the 0.786, because I was very happy with that swing trade to 0.886 to the 0.786. But I mean, this does look like it is showing strength with a higher low there. I would just, like, volume needs to step in. So keep an eye on the volume pad for that particular trade. All right, Pat, I see you typing. If that's it, there's not much else I'm really looking at in the market, guys. So that's pretty much a summary of macro. That's a summary of the high altcoins that we're looking at. Like, I mean, one other thing I could probably just talk about is the dollar, because this is always interesting to see as well. Like, it has retested this box that I drew a long time ago, which I technically, like, I think it aligns with liquidity over here, even back here in bloody 2016. So, like, yeah, keep an eye on the dollar. If it does maybe bottom out and sort of rally here, maybe it rallies, attempts to maybe try and make a new high, which I don't see it making a new high. Like, this, I mean, we are oversold territory, so maybe it sort of comes back up here for the few more months, but this looks like it probably breaks back down to the bottom, retest here, worst case scenario, which is great for crypto and great for risk on assets as well. All right. Volume doesn't kick in. We're smart to sell. Yeah, 100%, Pat. Yeah, 100%. If volume doesn't kick in, then the trade often goes the wrong way and goes back towards zero. Yeah. So looking at so keep an eye on BTC. Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. Well, I hope that gives you all a bit of insight, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat. So there you have it, guys. There's the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed that. And obviously, if you'd like to get early access to that, become a YouTube member, guys, or obviously check out my trading group. Both are in the description below. There is currently a sale going for my trading group for the next week or so to the end of August. As always, please subscribe to the channel as well. And obviously, please like the video. Please take care, guys, and I will see you in the next one.